Hey, how's it going? So today I just received an order to do 9 of these rustic walnut shadow boxes. I figured this is a great opportunity to show you how I take a rustic piece of wood or walnut and then add a little bit of um, resin to it to give it a little bit of an artistic look on the finished product. So first, let me show you what I'm working with as far as the wood. So when I go out to the sawmill, they have they have different types of boards. They have these furniture boards that are going to be nice, clear, clean, very limited sapwood. You're not going to see knots in it. And then they have another set of walnut that they call rustic. Now, I'm more attracted to the rustic wood because I feel like it has the character in it, and it's what I want to accent with my pieces. Now, if I build a product and it has, giant gaping holes in it, that's not classy enough for me. That's not going to be a nice polished product. So now I have to go back and find a way to accent these features, but not give it a cheapened look. So I'm going to go through and I'm going to begin filling all of these various holes with resin, and I'll show you the processes along the way. Okay, so first I pick which side of the board I want to fill the resin in first. And then I flip the board over and I start going to the back side and looking for where the cracks or the voids are because I need to tape those up. Reason being is as you pour the resin, it's got to have somewhere to go, and it's going to go through the wood and out the other side. So the first thing I do is I just take a small screwdriver, kind of just clean out the hole a little bit to help the resin flow through. Get rid of all the small shards. Grab my masking tape. Now some people use an expensive painter's tape for this. For me, so far I've been okay. With the masking tape, I just put a little bit extra on. But when the roll is 1/3 the price, to me it's worth using a couple extra pieces to save on actual cost of that expensive painter's tape. So I got one more area that I need to mask up, and then I'll be flipping the board over. All right, the resin that I use is an environmentally friendly resin. And I like to use that because there is no odor to it. So I can do this inside. Don't have to worry about smelling up the whole house. It's a 1-to-1 mix, so it's pretty easy to use. So I'll mix it up. Once it's thoroughly mixed, that's when I will add the dye to it. Okay, so that's about the darkness I want to start with. So now what I do is I just start slowly dripping it in there to try to let the resin go in. Then as it drains down, I'll go back and fill it back up, and this will probably be about a 5-10 minute process for me going through all the different holes in this board. So the next thing I need to do is to joint the boards, which essentially is making one side flat, and then I square off the other edge. So to do this, I use a jointer. I have a benchtop jointer. So it's really for just the smaller pieces, jewelry boxes, shadow boxes, the projects that I typically take on. Typically, it's going to take a couple of passes at minimum because you're trying to get rid of all of the waves or distortions in the side of the board and make it a nice flat surface to work with. And you flip the board over and you see the difference between the rough lumber side and now this side that's a little bit smoother. Now once you get the one side flat, then I have to bring it down to dimension. So you'll see this little number there on the front of this planer, and that's going to tell me how much I'm taking off of the board. So you run it through here, and now you see that you have two sides that are perfectly parallel to each other because one side was flat, the flat side's down. And then this is the comparison of the two boards. Okay, now that I've jointed the boards, running it and making the one side flat, then I run it through the planer and got the boards to the right thickness. All that's left is to shape the boards, cut out the different grooves for the glass, and for the backing. This is one of the shadow boxes that I worked on, and it actually turns out to be a pretty interesting customer, and I'll talk more about that in a follow-up blog article that I'm going to put together. Now this is a watch box that I did up, and the reason I chose this particular watch box is because of the depth of the character, the resin that I put into this box. You can see the different voids that were filled in and how a rough board really turned out to be a pretty classy piece. And I think that when the right person finds this, they're really going to love this box and cherish it for years to come. So I didn't want to get too far into the process of how I build the boxes or the shadow boxes. I wanted to concentrate more on just the resin. You can check out these and other products on my website. I offer a 10% off code for your first order for anybody that signs up for my email distribution list. Should you have any custom orders or questions, feel free to reach out to me. You can contact me by using that contact link on my website. It's at the bottom of every one of my pages. Thanks for watching. Hope to hear from you soon.